Hey guys, HerbQuest here with some clips from the Deadman mode tournament. As you guys know, I had jury duty this week, so I'm just helping out Wiggled's clan here. I'll be solo for the seasonal zone, nothing against the clan or anything, just, I want to do it solo and couldn't do it solo this time effectively due to time constraints, so I joined the clan, figured I'd help them, maybe gain a couple allies, make some friends. But this clan's a lot more organized than the last clan that I was in, and while I'm helping them, I actually have like a job for the clan, and that job is being the designated chin hunter. And to do this job, I need a few things to start out with. As you can see, I'm doing the early grind, and need some agility levels just to get up there, of course, and then I need a alt account on the side, a little rag ranger to help me out up there, and maybe even bring it to the final hour depending on if time constraints continue or what goes on with that. And the other thing that I need for hunting chins is 19 herb lore so I can tick manipulate with the tar. And with 16 hours of footage, even at 4x speed, which is the max that I can edit it to per render session, and I'm only doing one render session, that would be 4 hours of sped up footage. Now I gotta narrow that down to less than a 20-minute video. I can't go over 20 minutes, I'd say, otherwise the upload takes way too long and it like wouldn't be ready by the time I'd wake up after a long sleep even, so I don't want that during tournament week. Skipping ahead though to some actual hunter training while I grind out, going for just 70 agility on the alt account so I can get into the Wilderness God Wars dungeon in case that becomes useful at all, because this ragger isn't only to protect me at chins, it's got a couple other purposes. It doesn't have a defined job yet, but for instance, if Wiggled called like a little PK session, then I'd have an account to go and join on the mass and like a little bone bow and stuff with everyone else, which would be, a little fun, helpful, and doesn't really matter if I die since, it's not a final hour account per se. So the early gains went pretty well, except for a little bit of lag here and there, but it cleared up and it didn't really affect me. I don't know if anyone else is lagging out this tournament or if it's just me, but a little sketchy. But by the time I was working on the Wilderness Agility course, I had the hunter level for black salamanders, so I figured before I go out into the wilderness it'd be a good time to get myself 57 woodcutting so I can just canoe up there. Since I'm the designated hunter for the clan, it'd be beneficial if I had the easiest route of getting there, even straight from Lumbridge. And they've been helping me out with box traps, extra tar, food, and re-gears so I can get right back out there super quick. I don't gotta do like a rebuild. But moving ahead, I did eventually get 70 agility, and with that I got the woodcutting level to navigate the wilderness and got myself a spot at the black salamanders, although had to share it with someone, but that was okay because I was kind of AFKing on the other account too, so I just took like one of this guy's trap spots and the open one that was there. Don't normally crash people, but it is Deadman mode. This guy is technically the enemy, but he eventually ends up leaving. And then meanwhile on my other account, since I need to AFK, I brought it over to Chaos Druid since I have the agility level to escape up into Salarin, and these have like no defense, decent herb drops, so I can get the level to make my own prayer potions. That's really as far as I want to go with herb lore. And yeah, then I can use those prayer pots for borrows if need be, or anything else. And while doing that on the alt, I got 80 hunter for efficiency's sake for black chins, and only 4 minutes through the video and I'm already there. In real time though, that took a lot of time of preparation to get up there. And wouldn't you know it, first trip I go up there, there's PKers about, and I lure this guy down, and my clan member gets on him, which is really awesome. He probably didn't know where the hell I was going with that gap. But in the end, I did have a plan for it since I knew where my clanmate was. Then over here on the alt, I'm getting stuff for tuna potatoes in case I feel like it. But shortly, I realized that multi-logging while doing hunter is near impossible, and I ended up just completely logging out of the alt completely when I went to train the hunter up and catch the chins. Then while I started hunter, I decided to go about doing the witch's house quest because it's relatively AFK as far as quests go, and I was passing the chins off to this guy up here. But it was around this point that as I got on with the Witch's House quest, I realized that multi-logging while doing Hunter was simply not going to work, mostly because I could barely get the tick manipulation setups in. I could here and there, like a little bit, but for the most part, I was kind of doing the AFK-ish method of Hunter, which isn't efficient at all. It's like not even having an urban tire with you. So then after I did that, I just completely logged out of the alt account. And it looks like I messed up my screen margins for the following clips, so it's a little bit wide mode. This part I don't know what I was doing. I was calling for help and I was thinking that the PKer, I'd be able to lure him to multi again, but that didn't work out so well. And yeah, I thought it'd work like the first time, but I should have ran straight to the mine because it turned out my clanmate was actually chilling at the mine, so I didn't know which way to run. And felt a little embarrassed about that death because that would have been so easily tankable had I just ran to the mine to start with. But I thought he was down at Green Dragons. I didn't know where exactly he was or where I should run him to. But yeah, just the mine from now on. But since I died, as is standard, a clan account chilling at Lumbridge passed 20k to me, so I could go and get my stuff back. I got some of my gear back from the PKer. He didn't loot it all there. Lost my Avas device though, which kind of blows along with some traps, so I'm gonna head over to Yunel and get some more. And back to hunting chins again, passing them off to the clan members as I hunt away. The gains are pretty awesome since these give like 3k XP each, so I'm getting an insane amount of XP per hour here. And I'm not in full screen mode right now because I was training on the alt just a little bit, but then since I found somebody to collect the chins for me as I hunt them, I decided to get back on the hunter account and go for that. And the reason why that screen's still small, they're both in the small window mode, is because of that glitch that's going on with OS Buddy right now. It takes forever to get the stretch fixed mode to work. Luckily though, it is actually possible to get stretch fixed mode up, and I'll quickly go through how to do that. What you want to do is you want to be in resizable mode to stretch out the game canvas, and then turn stretch fixed mode on in your OS Buddy thing. Make sure that you're in full screen. I mean, the window might be maximized, but make sure it's like actually full screen. Hit that little square in between the minimize and the X to maximize it, and then turn stretch fixed mode back on, and then turn fixed mode on from resizable, and it works just like that. But yeah, trading off the chins like every 50 or so, 50 to 100. I actually died with 150. Overall, the total loss as of today's date is minus 200 chins, but I've successfully gathered more than double that for the clan, so I'm definitely bringing in more than what I'm losing. Actually, according to my XP tracker, I'm going to need like 3k chins to 99, so if you look on the high scores and see that herb quest is 99 hunter, that means I've gotten over 3k chins for WB. Then a while later, when I wasn't recording, I got killed again and decided to get ready to kill some big rats and big frogs over in the Lumbridge Swamp and kill some hill giants and do some wilderness slayer. I actually had an ent task. Made a call that there were a couple people out there to the Clanchat and didn't realize that I was actually in the wrong Clanchat, and this ended up happening. And Fortunately, everything that I had in my bank was going to the clan anyway. But yeah, the one guy who I was actually giving chins to was there trying to tell people on the Discord or TeamSpeak or whatever to not kill me, but they were a little trigger happy. But it happens, so it's understandable, and they gave me enough money, more than enough money, to re-gear back up after that. Also, no one was online at this time to collect the chins that I was gathering, and I needed 43 prayer and some better base stats. So I started killing these frogs and doing Wilderness Slayer on the alt, hoping I could get lucky on an emblem or something. I did end up getting one emblem from these Ents, but that's not really enough to get anything from. Then after the Ent task, I ended up getting a Chaos Druid task, which ended up really sucking because there were PKers all over that place. Don't think I got the trip where the PKers came on film actually, but there were a lot of PKers down here, and plus it's just crowded all to hell anyway. But eventually I went over to Blue Dragons and started getting some money going, selling the blue dragon hides to our crafter, who, by the way, is the same person who crafted stuff for Torvesta. Always seem to be connected to him in some sort of way every tournament. Small world though, only 2,000 players. I guess you run into everyone eventually, but between like all the streamers out there, I seem to keep on running into Torvesta of all people, like whether it be fighting him in seasonals a bunch of times that I have, or whether it be just simply seeing him ask favors of my clan members no matter what clan I'm in. He's always getting a little help from someone that I know. But I eventually ended up getting the Dragon Bones to get my overheads on one account, and then the other account shortly thereafter. However, I didn't use the same method though. I decided to just take my Hunter account over to Baby Green Dragon. And then on the other account, I was killing Twisted Banshees. These are really AFK, and they drop some nice early game alchables, like Ruin Daggers and Air Battle Stabs. I was walking out of here with a 20k cash stack in inventory. I forgot my Alch Ruins the first time, but if you have the agility level for the spot over by Anku's, these are really easy to get to. And if PKers come, not too many people have the Slayer level for the nose peg and all that at this point, so I can just escape over to Spectres, and I'd probably get killed doing that, but it'd be a funny escape if anything were to happen like that. And then meanwhile on the other account, using up my staff and everything else to try and get 43 prayer off these green dragons. Then after I got some base stats, it was back to chins with the range level to, I think I can wear Black Dragon Hide on this account at this point. I ended up getting 70, but I'm in red D-Hide right now, red D-Hide chaps and a studded top while I catch these chins, and then I made the tar here. And making the tar in Deadman mode really sucks because one, you've got, people waiting on you that really want these chins, and then two, it's not exactly easy to get back. My options are going to Cave Slime with a candle and an anti-poison, or just picking them up off the ground in Lumberge Swamp. I ended up doing the latter of those, but made my way back. And I believe this is second day. By this point, after training on 2 accounts at the same time and catching a bunch of chins, I didn't record all the chins that I caught, but up to 87 Hunter in this clip, and multi-logging while being efficient on both accounts. My wrist was absolutely killing me at this point. In fact, still a little sore, and I've been editing just only. I'm completely logged out right now for like the past hour while I've been editing because I wanted to make a good video. My wrist still hurts, like not badly, but I can still feel it. I'm afraid of getting like carpal tunnel or something because a couple weeks ago I just caught like 10k black chins, and my wrist was doing the same thing then too, and I was catching a couple thousand a day, but I wasn't playing, two accounts before catching those, so that combination of grinding really hard to get up here and then actually being here, I don't know. I don't think it's like carpal tunnel or anything. It's just really, really sore, just muscle pain. But I'm trying to take it a little bit easy, not blow my arm out before the seasonal starts, because although I do want to do the best job that I can for the clan, I still want to play for seasonals and don't want to be in a cast next week. So took a bunch of breaks. But even with all the breaks, and even right now, I'm still top page hunter and I'm catching chins by the 100 for the clan. So I feel pretty good about that. I'm like actually helping and doing a part of a system here. But for this last little section of the video, let's talk about jury duty a little bit because it was weird. But since I didn't get selected, I can talk about what I know a little bit. Basically, a local science teacher is suing this fracking company because I don't know what you know about hydraulic fracking, but it's a way of getting natural gas out of the local shale, and they basically blast water, well, not water, but frack fluid. It's got a whole bunch of chemicals in it, and they blast this frack fluid down a narrow hole and cap it and extract the natural gas out of it. Now that's all well and good, except the problem with that is that when they blast high pressure water at shale, then it causes these fractures all over the rock. Now that is the point of it. It releases the natural gas, but the fractures a lot of times go a little farther than intended, and they ended up basically contaminating a whole bunch of wells and residential water systems. And somebody who lives in that area is suing them. The whole selection process for the jury was really weird, though. They pulled like 250 people from the small town, and we all went there. I showed up fairly early, and there was people like up to, nearly on the sidewalk in a line outside the courthouse, standing in the pouring rain. So I stood in a spot where it wasn't, pouring rain with some of the other, smarter people underneath a rooftop over by the courthouse door. We weren't in line though, so we were some of the last people in the building. But we eventually get inside, and it's like the most inefficient grouping of people I've ever seen to transport them from a lobby to the courtroom. It was so inefficient, it literally took an hour to move everybody from the lobby up the stairs, up another set of stairs, and into a courtroom. Now, there's only 3 rooms that I listed there: a lobby, staircase, and another staircase. Those staircases are right next to each other. An hour. Okay, I could have walked up those stairs in about 45 seconds, casually. I mean, granted, everybody's got to be checked to make sure that they are who they are and whatnot, but it was just so inefficient, I couldn't even believe it. Then we finally get up to the courtroom, and we're seated in the most uncomfortable church pews of chairs that you could imagine. Which is, I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I have scoliosis, and I'm very sensitive to the chair I'm sitting in. If I'm in an uncomfortable chair, I'm not just uncomfortable, I'm like actually in pain after like 15 minutes. So we get in there in these really uncomfortable chairs, and there seems to be like this hold up to get things started, and since everything's being held up, they decide to put on a film for us. And we literally sat there in these horribly uncomfortable seats watching none other than The Little Rascals for 3 full-length episodes. So, bit by bit, I start to piece together what's going on with the whole case and everything, and they're dismissing people left and right for potentially being impartial and all that. Then after a short recess, we come back, and the judge literally just dismisses everybody from the 5th row back. Like everybody. Now, I'm not going to say anything I think about that. I'll let you draw your own conclusions. But yeah, I thought that whole process was just strange. And so did other people in the room. Everybody thought it was abnormal because there were people there that hadn't done jury duty before, like myself, but there were some people who had done jury duty, and they thought the process was strange. Well, that's all the more I'm going to say about that. Just the main facts there, that people were lined up to the sidewalk, standing in the rain over 20 minutes early. Then we stood in the lobby for approximately an hour, and then we watched over an hour of the Little Rascals in an uncomfortable chair before being suddenly dismissed after only around 15 minutes of questioning in a mass dismissal. Now, maybe I'm a little paranoid, but I think there might be something a little more than just strange going on, considering that this is like a huge case and all with the town. But that's all I'm going to say about it. You can draw your own conclusions. That's just what happened and my experience of it. But since I didn't get selected, though, I'll be able to continue hunting chins for the clan and maybe even participate in the final hour. It all depends, though. I do have some other stuff going on. I might not do this final hour. Don't really have that great of an account for it because concentrating on helping the clan. Hopefully it pays off, though, as far as making allies, though. I've made plenty of friends. These guys are really chill. Lots of really nice people in this clan. Like, unlike the last clan, they came off as almost a little bit rude at times, whereas these guys, they're super appreciative of like everything I do, and they're not just appreciative of me, they're appreciative of other people. That's what I like in a clan. They show their appreciation when you take your time out to help them. Whereas in the other clan, every time I did an errand, it was more or less just expected because I was me and I had the stats to do that errand and the abilities. Whereas here, my abilities are appreciated. They like me hunting chins for them. And it's like they recognize that I'm doing them a favor and not fulfilling an obligation per se. Whereas the other clan, it seemed more obligatory. And one reason why I mentioned that actually is because I didn't get it on video. I thought it was recording at the time, so I remember I was like scrolling up through my chat messages and making sure I got it all on film so that I could counter, everything that this guy said. But somebody from the old Solo Alliance was hunting chins next to me, and they come up and they're all like, snake, snake, herb snake, all this shit. And I was like, I'm confused, like, what? Why am I a snake? And then he explains that I talk shit on Gigi, and then I'm like confused, like, what, Gigi Allen? And I question him, and I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? And then he's like, you talk shit on Greek God X, and I'm like, Greek God X, like from Ice Poseidon streams? I watch ice streams. That's all I know of Greek God X, and he seems chill on there. I don't think I ever talked about him at all, negative or positive. But I don't have any problems with the guy. He's made me laugh. He's funny. He showed up on Ice Poseidon. That's all I know about him. He's friends with Ice. So then I explained that to him, like, what? And then he started talking about the Solo Alliance. So I guess there was somebody named Greek God X in the Solo Alliance. But to that guy, if you're out there, I wasn't talking shit on anyone. I just explained why I left the Solo Alliance. I left on good terms. Rads and I are still friends, the clan leader. I just wanted to, explain to him why I was leaving instead of just flat leaving, because I was going to leave anyway. It's better to leave with an explanation, so then that way they can try to prevent other people from leaving for maybe similar reasons. I was trying to help them still as I was leaving. I didn't want to be a part of their clan anymore, but it's not like I have beef with anyone in that clan, you know. Like, I'm still friends with Rads. We were talking over at Giant Frogs about our plans and whatnot when I was training there on the Hunter account, getting some early stats. And me and Rads were being chill then, you know. I mean, there were a lot of reasons why I left the Solo Alliance, and I'm not leaving Weed Blazers for any of those reasons. I'm gonna be solo for the seasonal, for content reasons. That's it. I mean, I'm gonna make friends in this clan and make allies, etc., etc. I'm gonna be chill with people, just like from the Solo Alliance. I'm still chill with people from there. We're still friends, you know. I'm not gonna go PK Rads if I see him out somewhere, even if he's low. If anything, I'm gonna try and help him from, you know, whatever's coming at him, you know. Unless they're like two green dots, and I'll just let that beef be between them. But like, if there's a green dot and a white dot, I'm gonna help the green dot, you know. And that's what it's about. It's about having fun, making friends, making alliances, and, you know, you don't necessarily have to be solo to be solo. You can be solo with friends and have friends that are in clans, etc. Everybody's got friends that's in another clan. I got friends in Lit, I got friends in the Solo Alliance, I got friends in WB, I got friends all over the place. So, like, I didn't leave the Solo Alliance to start a beef or get a clan war going or whatever. I just left because I wanted to see what other clans were like. I didn't like the organization in that clan. I didn't like, you know, some of the attitudes in that clan. I felt like a lot of people had the wrong sort of attitude for when it comes to Deadman mode and what teamwork's about and all that. Like, if you just want to be purple dots to each other, then sure, but state that beforehand. You know, don't claim to be a solo alliance and then, you know, everybody's an Iron Man except for a couple people who have to do errands for everybody. You know, that's not right. But in this clan, you know, everybody's got a job and they all get, you know, compensated for their job. If you're hunting chins and you've caught enough chins to be, you know, valuable, and you get killed while you're up there, then they'll give you a free gear setup back so you can go out there and do your job. You don't gotta Iron Man yourself a gear setup back as I would in the other clan if I was running an errand and got fucked up on that errand. You know, so that's my thoughts on that. But to that guy who called me a snake, you can think I'm a snake if that makes you feel better, because I, you know, abandoned my loyalty or whatever to the Solo Alliance. I never said Solo Alliance for life or anything like that. I didn't know I was obliged to remain in whatever clan I joined. I kind of felt that I could come and please as I went on an invitational basis. Quick interjection. Was doing some editing and I caught that. That's actually hilarious. Of course, I meant come and go as I please. But there's a humorous dyslexia moment for you all. But at any rate, I just figured I'd clear that up a little bit for anyone who like might, you know, be agreeing with that guy that I'm some sort of, you know, snake or whatever because I changed clans between one tournament to another tournament and listed why I left. You know, that's just a list of why I left. When I leave this clan, the list is simply going to be content. You know, number one. No number two, just number one. I want solo content for my YouTube channel. I mean, just because the other clan had a list that was like a dozen cases long doesn't mean that I have beef with any of them. It just, you know, there's some problems in that clan that they should probably consider working out a little bit better. But at any rate, enough of that. We're nearly at a half hour and it's going to take forever to upload this. So this is what I've been up to this Deadman mode tournament. Just helping Wiggled catch chins for the clan and enjoying it. You know, it's fun. They appreciate me. My wrist is giving out a little bit. Jury duty was strangely interesting. And now I've finally got a video to upload for the YouTube channel about Deadman mode. It's not the greatest in the world though, because, well, realistically, I'm not going to be, standing a big chance in the final hour. Like if I make it to the 1v1s, I don't see my account being super impressive. Like last tournament when I was rank 1 overall, which mostly was for the solo alliance so that I could do various errands like farming and fletching so I could help get potions and herb lore and all that. But this time around, just concentrating on hunters, so I'm really high rank in that skill though, so that's always cool to see on the high scores. I don't think I'll end up getting rank 1 hunter though, simply because of everything that's going on with my wrist. I've got to like stop hunting after so long because I don't want to blow out my wrist for seasonals or just, for personal health. One of the hardest grinds I've ever done though was this tournament because I've never actively played 2 accounts like that, and I was doing that since the start all the way up into a couple of nerd logs just to be able to get up here to Hunter so fast and have the overheads and everything and have both accounts. And pretty soon the other account's going to be up here instead of over at Twisted Banshees. I just want to have like 87 range on it and maybe get up to the point where I can get a rune crossbow, and then it'll be a real nice rag account because I can't even rag in a bone bow. People have like really powered leveled their combat, and people already have barrage, and whew, this tournament's rough as far as that goes. Next time around, though, I'll be able to rush quests and all that instead because I'll be solo and I won't have the prospect of jury duty looming over my shoulder. I mean, if I got selected, that would be 9 days of doing that. But since I don't, let's get 99 Hunter. I'll see you guys next video, and then maybe I'll do one for the final hour. Do maybe just like a joke attempt. Peace, guys.